Let's start here with a little SSL bus comp. Generally in this style of music, I'm not trying to like compress very much because it's just, it's going to push things back. It's going to make it just pump and it's kind of suck it downward. I love music to push outward, so I do a little less compression on the master bus, at least these days, but you never know. No rules. Let's try stuff. Let's bring the threshold down on the SSL bus comp. Let's see if it does something here.
Summer felt like forever. Didn't know, was waiting on you and all your feelings.
Again, we got to close our eyes.
Guess this love is a marathon. You wanted me to come over, want me to pull you closer, loving you like I'm supposed to.
Okay, right around there, I'm not looking at the screen as I dial this in, but right around there, I can feel that it starts to fall apart. It starts to just get a little too crazy. So from 15, I went to 9.6. Why don't we just like say we just split the difference or just back up a little bit from there. We'll let it tickle. We're gonna let this SSL do the job of just tickling. When I had the hardware unit, that's all it ever did anyway. With the occasional, 6 dB of gain reduction, heavy dense rock mix situation. The next mix we do after this might be a totally different story. So from there, I'm cool with that though. This mix is a lot of synthetic instruments. We're not relying on a bus compressor to pull together and glue ambient mics and drum overheads and like to just pull the band into this spot. A lot of the time on rock stuff or like live instrumentation, live drums, it's like if the drummer isn't hitting hard enough, it's a way to really add just a pulse and a heft and a thrust and just an intensity and immediacy to all the sound. You could really tighten it up a lot like that. This stuff is all it's just behaving. I don't think we need to rely on bus compression here. Let's move on to the limiting. Okay, our kick is kind of tickling that limiter. So I love to go down here and hit 1-to-1 mode. What that means is it's just going to do a little bit of sweet auto gain action. If you don't do that and you just turn up the limiter, check this out.
Summer felt like forever. Didn't know, was waiting on you and
it could be easy to just turn it up and think, I'm the shit, man. This is awesome. I'm so good at mixing. This is great. But it's a lot harder to hear those distorted artifacts that the limiting is introducing when you're just cranking up the source like that. So by doing auto gain, when you turn it up, the level isn't changing. It's exactly matching the output as you're turning up the input. So you can push and push and push and push until you hear the mix start to change in character, either for the good or for the bad. Usually it's for the bad. Once it starts to change in character, our kick is triggering too much limiting. It's sucking our kick downward. We're getting distortion. That's usually when I stop. If we want to have that cool distorted limited vibe where the kicks are given that blown out speakers thing, that's great. And we can inject some of that flavor in a different way. But limiting usually isn't the way I want to do that because you sacrifice a little bit too much transient. But let's try it. Let's dial this in.
Summer felt like forever. Didn't know, was waiting on you and all your feelings to catch you. Guess this love is a marathon you want.
Honestly, these sounds, this mix lends itself really well to going loud. If this was a situation where we were battling, doing a spec mix, or just needing to beat a loud ref, we would be able to. I don't think we need to in this scenario. Like I said, the feel of that kick and snare just feels really good. So I don't want to sacrifice the punch of this mix. So let's bring this back down.
Didn't know, was waiting on you and all your feelings to catch you. Guess this love is a marathon you wanted.
That's cool for me at this stage in the game. We'll stop there. You always got to remember to go back in and turn off 1-to-1 so that you get all your output level back up. Gold Cliff. Let's do the same thing. Let's hit this little link. Let's see if we can dial in and get a little extra, both flavor and level. Gold Cliff has just a way of adding that great crunchy sound to these types of drums. And it's because we grew up with this sound at this point. It's been almost 3 decades of the golden Lavery units existing, and just most of the records we've ever heard ran through those units. And it has a really musical way. Even if at the time it was never considered musical early on, the distortion was probably a rule that was being broken and was very, very unappreciated by many people who were opposed to the loudness wars. It's definitely, I consider it a really highly musical sound when used appropriately. So let's drive in. Let's see if we can make this thing happen.
Summer felt like forever. Didn't know, was waiting on you and